I'm Mrs. Rogers, and this is Mrs. Rogers' Kitchen. Today, I'm going to show you how to thaw out part of a piece of meat like this. My husband wants to have some meatloaf for dinner, but in about 30 minutes. Well, obviously my meat is completely frozen, and there's no way I can make a meatloaf in the oven in that amount of time. I'm going to get some just regular, inexpensive foil, and I want to make a 1 pound meatloaf, and this is 1.5 pounds of meat. So I'm going to shelter 1/3 of this package of meat. And I'm just going to kind of guess how much 1/3 is, but I want to wrap this foil all the way around that meat. I want to shelter 1/3 of the package on the back and the front, so it's not going to thaw out in the microwave. I'm going to leave it right in the package that I bought it in, but this is sealed in plastic. And so I'm going to poke some holes through this plastic because I want the steam to come out. Otherwise, at some point, it will explode in your microwave. Now, I have a microwave that's about 1200 watts. I'm going to leave, oh, there's my husband's coffee. I wondered where that went. Anyway, I'm going to leave the turntable in and let it turn, but this time I'm not going to use actually the defrost because the defrost is too much power. Microwaves are high frequency radio waves, and they do cook the meat, and I'm sure you've defrosted a piece of meat using your defrost option on your microwave, and it's cooked part of the outside of the meat. Well, I don't want that cooked. So I'm going to do it manually. I'm going to go time cook, and I'm going to set it for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to push power, and I'm going to turn the power down to 4 to start with. This meat has been defrosting for 5 minutes in our microwave. When you look at the meat, I can touch it. So I'm going to touch it and see how defrosted it is. This end of it is defrosted to about right there. And so that part of the meat is going to start cooking, and I don't want it to get cooked. I want to be able to cook it when I'm making my meatloaf, and so I'm going to shelter that part of the meat from defrosting, and I'm going to turn the rest of it on. The rule for using your foil is that you have to have, about at least half of your food uncovered so that your microwaves have something to soak into. And of course, we're putting it right in the middle of the microwave. This time I'm going to use my defrost option, and I'm going to put defrost and start, and I have to put 1 pound and start. It's going to defrost, it says, for about 6 minutes. So now it's cooking on, I think it's about maybe a 6 power level, something like that. But I've sheltered the smaller part of the meat, so all I have now absorbing those microwaves is the big thick part of the meat. So that's why I can actually turn the microwave up a little bit. Also remember that it is turning in there for me, so when those microwaves come out of that microwave element that creates those and blows those around in the microwave, the meat is turning, so it will be absorbed, so those hot spots are not an issue. And also remember, anytime you're using foil in your microwave, it works great. You don't see any sparks, there's no arcing, there's no lightning, there's no problems at all. It works great as long as you have food for the microwaves to soak into, and that foil is not touching the tops or the sides of your microwave. We have defrosted our meat 5 minutes on a power level of 4, which is 40%, and 6.5 minutes on our regular defrost on the microwave setting. And you'll see that it's still pretty nice and pink. To find out how defrosted it is, like when I push on it, it's pretty defrosted. I'm just going to take my knife, a nice sharp knife, and I'm going to keep this other side that's frozen. I'm going to put it right back in my freezer. So I'm just going to cut it off from the piece that I'm going to use. And I'm going to just leave the container and everything right on the meat. Packaging and all. I'm going to get rid of that little piece though, but you'll see that this piece of meat is hard as a rock. See the ice on it? It's still completely frozen. So now I can wrap this back up and put it in my freezer again. Unthawed next time I want to use it. I haven't damaged this piece of meat at all, and I have a nice thawed piece of meat. You see that the juices are even running out of it. I have a nice thawed piece of meat to make my meatloaf. Thanks. That's how you unfrost or defrost part of your meat and not the rest. We'll see you soon. Please click subscribe and you can check out the next video where we actually make the meatloaf in the microwave and get that meatloaf on the table in about 15 minutes. See you soon.